Hey, so the last video I made was talking about how I was bored. I'm cutting my fingernails right now. I'm multitasking. I'm so bored that I want to do two things at once. But so I was kind of, I was really bored and I wasn't getting enough deliveries, and I think sometimes when you're working, your mind kind of goes to the same spots it always does. So it's like, how do you keep motivated and thinking about new things? You know, I mean, work is kind of work, and it's a routine that sometimes you don't always see everything that's around you because your mind gets, you only see what you kind of want to see sometimes, I feel like. So, so I was bored, and that doesn't just happen with work. I get bored all the time. But I think that is one thing that connects me to having the want to drink or take kratom, and and all through my life it's been kind of like that. But and I mean, I found alcohol and kratom and found that it was a way to kind of temporarily kind of help, but it isn't really a good way, I don't think. And maybe it is, but I don't think it could be while I'm missing my teeth. So anyway, I just wanted to say, um, so what happened was, and I never, I always forget about this. It's really good if you like remember everything about yourself. I mean, whoever is watching this video right now, thanks for watching, and you found it because you were already questioning something like about alcohol or a drug or whatever, and quitting kratom or whatever. So because you had that question or you were looking it up on YouTube, you found this. And I think that's kind of good because you're like kind of looking in yourself. And part of the reason why I'm saying this is because well because I quit, because what was really happening, I'm pretty sure, was I was actually hungry. And it doesn't seem like that would be the easiest thing to mix up, is to be bored, to be hungry, but I forgot. And it's kind of, I wish that we were smarter in life, because I could have been like, oh, we'll go eat some food and then keep working. But I was cold, and and I was hungry, and so that made me bored because I was kind of low on calories. Like my blood sugar was probably low because I got home and ate some food, and then I was like, oh, I feel kind of good right now. I'm not that bored anymore. I'm not depressed. So bored can kind of be similar to depression. I noticed in myself, and it's weird that that can be mixed, confused, depression and boredom. So that's kind of what happened to me. And so like I wanted to make a video to explain it if anybody watched that last video, um cuz I'm like, "Oh, this is interesting. Like I wanted to drink alcohol because I was bored before. I know that that's happened." And I'm like, "Well, what can we do? Oh, we can drink beer." And really, I'm drinking because I'm bored, because I'm hungry, because I don't have enough calories or something. And or my blood sugar isn't high enough, and my brain isn't functioning like it could be, or it was earlier that day. So now I'm drinking alcohol because I was hungry. So, and alcohol actually, it has calories in it too. They call them empty calories, but for the most part. But so I don't even know what that totally means, an empty calorie. But I did at one time. I forgot. So it's that's kind of an interesting cycle, and so I was thinking about talking about like depression, like, because that's a major one. That the thing with that is, like, now since I ate, I wouldn't have considered myself depressed earlier, but I realized how much better my mood is since I ate, and because my mood's better, my thoughts are better. I'm not thinking about things that are as destructive as I was actually thinking about running into something with my bike. Like I was like intentionally on my way home. Like I should jump off my bike into this garbage can. And I don't know why, but and so when you quit drinking, I know I could have been kept drinking, and I mean I know sometimes I'll drink and I'll have the best time ever riding my bike delivering, or I'll have the best time ever doing something that, you know, while I'm drinking that night will be a really fun night. So alcohol is a really confusing and drugs are really confusing because you think you're having a great time, and you might be, but then it's the time afterward that it kind of is more destructive. Like, what food are you putting in your body? What kind of thoughts are you having? Are your ideas consistent with what you want your future to be? And for me, they're not. And kratom alcohol, they're not. So I kind of want to just mention too that, you know, depression on a drug is different than depression in reality, because there's so many types of depression that there's like when an animal dying, somebody dying, there's like, you know, losing money kind of thing, to there's like mental, you know, where there's a type of depression I'm not totally aware of that kind of comes out of nowhere. There's seasonal depression as well. There's depression that there was one time I got really depressed for like years, and it was bad, and it was, but I was getting drunk the whole time. I was like 22, and and um I had quit taking Ritalin, and I wondered if quitting taking Ritalin just made me like super depressed for 2 years. So because there's all these types of depression, there's also depression that comes like if I got drunk right now, I would have the most fun time, and then tomorrow I would be really depressed from alcohol, and that's what happens to me. That's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to quit. So you know, I'm aware of that, and I know that's why I need to stop. One of the reasons, but but that depression is different than being depressed. Like, so now, since I haven't been drinking, I can really say I think what happened to me this year, I drank for a few months. December, probably January, February, March, and then January, February, and March, I probably drank a few beers here and there, got drunk like 2 times, and then I got really drunk and wrecked. So, um, so my lack of alcohol is kind of what caused me to crash, because I my tolerance was down. I didn't know how it would affect me. I haven't taken a shot for over a year, over maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and I got drunk, and you know, this happened. But the depression that I realized over the course of a year is seasonal. So I've been saving a little bit of money every day, every week, because I need to get the hell out of this goddamn part of the country when it gets cold, or else I'm gonna be depressed. And I'm almost I almost think it's more worthwhile to live your life, and if you have seasonal depression, in a way that is that you can use your energy in a more positive way than being depressed out 4 months out of the year. And I don't get like super depressed, you know, but I can tell it messes me up. I get confused. I make other weird decisions. A lot of things happen, and it's a type of depression that is probably kind of natural, you know, because your body wants to eat more carbohydrates, more sugar, slow down, gain fat, take the winter easy. But I'm on a bike riding around. I was riding a bike riding around in the winter, and it's like I'm fighting that. And I want my brain to be awake and be aware and like be thoughtful and like doing stuff, but I'm not productive. So it's like, how next year, how the year after, can I always stay productive in my life? So that's kind of like a goal of mine to figure out. So the next thing is how do I feel now not drinking and taking kratom compared to having that, normal depression. Well, it's warming up, but it's not that warm still, not totally that warm. And I think that the depression that I've ever actually had from like a result of taking Ritalin for a long time, or seasonal depression, or bored, maybe not having enough food or something, that depression is something that is inside more like, it's like I don't know, and I know that that's something you're just gonna struggle with in life. I mean, you can run, you can have friends, you can like paint, you can write, you can read, you can run, you can write, you can run, you can do anything. And it's good to like be aware, maybe you need to sleep, I don't know, but if you wake up different times every day, that kind of messes things up too. So you kind of want to stay in the same sleeping habit. I think that's true. It kind of is for me, taking vitamin D, getting sunlight. But it complicates things if I'm depressed and I'm drinking and depressed. That's like double depression. It's like it makes me more happy to be depressed. I think it makes me more happy. I'm not happy. It makes me want to be more depressed more. I get to a point where depression, the idea of depression and being depressed, actually I go deeper into that, which is interesting. When depression is deep rest, it's almost like, I'm sure there's health benefits, and I'm sure it's like, or certain types of something that's good about depression. It's not all bad, but I know that it can not fit into what we are supposed to think in society, I think, about life when we're depressed, because we're kind of against like everything, like working more, like there's so many more things you're just like, this sucks. So now, I kind of feel like I'm out of the depressed cycle. I'm kind of stuck with the bills, and that's depressing. That's like hard for me to comprehend. And so that type of kind of I wouldn't call it depression. I just call it like worrying, like more crap. It's not. I'm not actually. It's not dragging my mind and body down. Like I'm not gaining weight from it. Like there's a lot of things that aren't that bad. So anyway, about depression, like it can go a few different directions, and alcohol and kratom kind of like can make it worse. I see people drinking all the time, every day, like all day long, in the morning and in the afternoon and night. I always miss out. I miss it. I really like drinking. There's a lot of good times I had. There's a lot of good ideas I had. It feels like it's connected to your memories from drinking. So when you quit drinking, it's kind of like you feel like, if you drink again, you get those memories back. But I mean, you could probably get them back without it, but it's when you do a drug, it's like that part of your brain kind of gets dedicated to it, and I don't think you lost it forever. I think it's still there. But anyway, this video I just kind of wanted to mention this aspect of addiction and drugs and stuff, and like kratom, I kind of feel like you can feel without taking it again. And I still kind of want to take that sometimes, like, just to do something or just drink a couple of beers. But I know you kind of fall back into it, Then it's like, when do I not take it again? Why am I taking it? I went and saw where Chris Farley died today. Well, last house he was in, and I was like, maybe I should buy a beer and drink it. But am I just using that as an excuse? Well, anyway, good luck quitting, and thanks for watching.